Sorry for interruption. Sorry for interruption. Okay, now we take the next article. Construction of image. Using cardinal points. Okay, so we study construction of image using cardinal point. With the help of this cardinal point, how the image of object can be formed, that we want to study. So from 6 cardinal points, of an optical system, from 6 cardinal points of an optical system, the image corresponding to any object placed on using 6 cardinal points of an optical system, 2 focal points, 2 principal points and 2 nodal points. The image corresponding to any object placed on principal axis of the system can be constructed. You studied the ray methods. You incident the ray, get the reflection, and then you get the emergent ray. Okay, so that method you have studied at the higher secondary level, 10th and 12th standard. Okay, but using the knowledge of 6 cardinal points, 2 focal points, F1, F2, 2 principal point, P1, P2, 2 nodal point, N1 and 2 of an optical system, the image of an object which is kept on the principal axis of the optical system can be constructed. So the image of the object can be constructed with the help of 6 cardinal point of an optical system. So for that, consider this is the principal axis. This is the principal axis. Okay. Now we have 6 cardinal points. 2 principal points P1, P2, 2 focal points F1, F2, and 2 nodal points N1, N2. Okay. So this is the first principal plane. This is second principal plane. The first principal plane is H1, P1. The second principal plane is H2, P2. Okay, so I have shown H1 P1 is the first principal plane and P1 is the first principal point. H2 P2 is the second principal plane and P2 is the second principal plane. So H1 P1 is the first principal plane, P1 is called the first principal point, H2 P2 is the second principal plane and P2 is the second principal point. Okay. Now I consider one object. I consider one object somewhere here. This is object AB. I want to obtain the image of this object AB. I want to obtain the image of this object AB using the knowledge of 6 cardinal points. So let us consider object AB. Let us consider the object AB placed on the principal axis of the optical system. So let us consider the object AB which is placed on the principal axis of the optical system. Okay, now I want to obtain the image of this object using 6 cardinal points. I want to obtain the image of this object using the knowledge of 6 cardinal points. Okay, so first I consider the ray AH1 which is traveling parallel to the axis. So this is incident ray 1. Incident ray 1. Okay. You know very well when the ray of light AH1 parallel to the axis is incident on the first principal plane. After refraction, okay, it will emerge out from the point H2 and passes through the second focal point F2. So this is emergent ray number 1. This is emergent ray 1. Such that H1 P1 and H2 P2 will remain same. Okay. So this is the first incident ray and this is the first emergent ray. So let us consider a ray of light AH1, a ray of light AH1 traveling parallel to the axis. Ray of light AH1 traveling parallel to the axis is incident at point H1 of the first principal plane. After undergoing refraction into the lens system, okay, the conjugate ray will proceed from point H2 and pass to the second focal point F2 and emerge out in the direction H2 F2. So this is the incident. AH1 is the first incident ray. H2 F2 is the first emergent ray. Second, if I consider a second ray, second incident ray, like this. Okay. Before that, if you want to write the explanation, you can write in short. Okay. Actually, we are going to consider 3 incident rays. Ray AH1, first ray, first ray AH1, first ray AH1 parallel to the axis, parallel to the axis, will emerge from point H2 will emerge from point H2 and passes through second focal point and passes through second focal point F2 such that H1 P1 and H2 P2 will be same. H1 P1 is equal to H2 P2. Right. So let us consider the first incident ray. Let us consider the first incident ray H1 traveling parallel to the axis is incident on at point H1 of the first principal plane. Okay. Let us consider the first incident ray H1 traveling parallel to the axis is incident at point H1 of the first principal plane. It undergoes refraction into the lens system, optical system, and after refraction, okay, its emergent ray will proceed from point conjugate ray will proceed from point H2 and pass to the second focal point F2. So this H1 is the first incident ray, H2 F2 is the first emergent ray. So then H1 P1 and H2 P2 will remain same. But now consider the second ray. Okay, now I consider the second ray AT1. AT1. This is incident ray number 2. Okay. So its conjugate ray will pass from point A to. Its conjugate ray will pass from point A to. Sorry. Okay, its conjugate ray will pass from point T to. Yes. So this T2 and to A1 is the second emergent ray. It is a second emergent ray. Yeah. So from the properties of nodal points, if the second incident ray T1 is incident at point T1 of the first incident ray, its emergent ray will come out from point T2, okay, and it is meeting at point A1. So this is the second emergent ray. Okay, so number 2, second ray AT1N1, second incident ray AT1N1 is directed towards nodal point N1, emerged out from this ray emerged out from point T2 in the direction T2 and to A2. The direction T2 and to A1. Right? So let us consider the second incident ray AT1. Let us consider the second incident ray AT1 is incident at point T1 of the first incident plane in the direction AT1N1. Then after a refraction, its conjugate ray will proceed from point T2 pass to the second nodal point N2 in the direction and T2 and to A1. So this AT1N1 is the second incident ray, and T2 and 2 even is the second emergent ray. So let us consider the second incident ray AT1. The second incident ray AT1 is incident at point T1 of the first incident plane in the direction AT1N1. Its conjugate ray will emerge from point T2 pass to the nodal point N2 in the direction in the direction T2 and to A1. So this AT1N1 is the second incident ray, and T2 and to A1 is the second emergent ray. And lastly, I consider the third ray. Passing to the focal point F1 and incident on the first principal plane at point K1. Okay. Right, so I consider the third incident ray AF1 K1. So this is incident ray number 3. Okay, so let us consider the third incident ray AF1 K1 passing to the first focal point F1 and incident at point Q1 of the first incident plane. Its conjugate ray will pass from point A2. And it travels parallel to the axis. So this is the third emergent ray. Emergent ray number 3. So I give a small explanation of the third incident ray. The third incident ray AF1 K1 passing through the first point F1 is incident at point K1 of the first incident. Its conjugate ray will pass from point K2 and become parallel to the axis. Okay. So ray, third incident ray, AF1 K1. AF1 K1 travel parallel to the axis, travel parallel to axis in the direction K2 A1 after reflection. Because you know the theory very well, when parallel ray of light is incident on the optical system, after reflection it always passes to the focal point F2. When the incident ray passes to the focal point F1, after reflection it will become parallel to the axis. So third incident ray AF1 K1, third incident ray AF1 K1 is incident at point K1 of the first principal plane. After reflection it will become parallel and travel in the direction A to A1, such that K1 P1 is equal to K2 P2, such that K1 P1 is equal to K2 P2. K1 P1 is equal to K2 P2. Okay. So the first incident ray AH1, I quickly repeat, the first incident ray AH1 parallel to the axis is incident at point H1 of the first principal plane. After reflection, okay, it will emerge out from point H2 and passing to the second focal point F2, right? So AH1 is the first incident ray, H2 F2 A1 is the first emergent ray. Second, AT1N1 is the second incident ray, which incident at point T1 of the first principal plane. After reflection, it will its conjugate ray will start from T2, passes to the point N2 in the direction T2 and 2A1. So AT1N1 is the second incident ray, T2 and 2A1 is the second emergent ray, and third incident ray AF1 K1 passing to the first focal point F1. Okay, and incident at point K1 of the first principal plane, it will after reflection it will emerge out from point K2 and parallel to the axis. So all the three emergent ray 1, which is H2 F2 A1, emergent ray 2 K2 and 2 A1, and emergent ray 3 K2 A1. All the three rays are meeting at point A1. So you can say A1 is the image of point A. Okay. So this A1 B1 is the image. Right. So all the three emergent rays, first emergent ray, second emergent ray, third emergent ray are meeting at point A1. So A1 is the image of the top of object AB. Okay. Similarly, the image of point B will be B1. Okay. If you connect A1 B1, then A1 B1 will be the image of the object. So AB is the image. So A1 B1 is the image of object AB. Right. So A1 B1, if you all the three emergent rays are meeting at point A1, so A1 is the image of point A of the object AB, and B1 is the image of point B of the object AB. So A1 B1 is the image of object AB. So in this way, using the knowledge of cardinal point, we can obtain the image of object AB, okay, which is A1 B1. Okay, thank you so much. We stop here. So this is the second part of lecture number 11. Thank you so much.